I don't expect that it's going to run, but damn it, I'd love for it to just crank. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. We got gauges. Half a tank of gas, a check engine light. Hot damn. Whoo! Oh, oh, do you think she'll crank? Hope it don't backfire. It ran. It ran. It ran. Ugh. It ran. It ran. I guess next. Oh, there's no cap either? No. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. It's running. It's running. Holy crap, she's running. It ran. Oh my God. It took off, guys. Whoo! It drove. I mean, it didn't drive far, but it drove. It ran over some rocks. Oh, this is what stopped it right here. If this hadn't have been here, we might not have caught it, guys. Oh, crap. Wow. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we're finally back. It's been a long time, and I'm excited to be here. I did some crazy things while I was on vacation and out there helping my uncle, since I couldn't be home working on cars or bidding on cars, buying cars, doing Copart walkarounds. I did the next best thing. I bought a bunch of cars sight unseen. 7 of them, to be exact. Let's take a look at them real quick, and then we'll jump into the car we're going to work on today. So before we jump into this hot mess of vehicles I've got sitting out here, there's a couple missing. Because yesterday, I bought 2 more sight unseen from Insurance Auto Auctions. That's right, I bought a 2006 Nissan Xterra that's supposed to be a run and drive, and I got it for $900. The next one I got was a 2002, I think, Nissan Maxima. Also supposed to be a run and drive. I got it for $375. Now that you know about the cars that are missing, let's get into the ones that are currently here. The first one on my list, a 2005 Nissan Altima with the V6. It was listed as a start, but not a drive. It said something about if you put it in gear, it dies. So I know nothing about any of these cars other than what the listings said. They may run, they may not run. It's hard to tell. We've got decent tires on this one, and the body's a little rough. I assume the interior's a little rough too, but this is not one that we're getting into today, so we're gonna skip it. And let's move on over to the Honda Accord. I believe this is a 1985 Honda Accord 1800 something or other. The hoods on some of these are open. I just got back to AR headquarters. I don't think this has run in a while, guys. CVCC. Okay. I've had something similar to this in the past. This one is listed as a non-runner. No run, no drive. And I believe this one was $175. It's got good tires, excuse me, it's got hail damage pretty significantly, but the rest of the car looks pretty good. This is from Wheelsy, 1985 Honda Accord. There is one major issue other than it not running, and that is the hailstorm busted out the back window. Somebody at one point had tried to cover it up and protect it. Now it's got Gorilla Tape goop all over it. But aside from the rear window and the goop, it doesn't look too bad. Got a little tape on the lights back there from the hail knocking it out. We're going to get more into this one later. I'm definitely interested in seeing if we can get this one running. Next, a lot of you have been waiting for, I believe this is a 1985 Honda Civic. And a lot of you are going to wonder why I even bothered with this. And the truth is, I don't know. It was so cheap that I just couldn't help myself. I don't even know what year it is. Let's come down here and see if we can take a look. It is 4 of 89. So this is a 1989 Honda Civic. The interior is in really good shape, aside from the obvious exterior damage. This is listed as a run and drive. I don't know if it's actually going to drive, but it's listed as such. You might want to pop that hood off first. Oh, okay. Well, the hood's already open. Look at that. Dual point PGM fuel injection, baby. Yep. Good old die-hard motor, man. I'm sorry, die-hard battery. The motors are die-hard too. These things would run forever. Next, I believe this is a 2005. This is one I probably most likely should have avoided. This is a 2005, I believe, Chrysler 300. I don't know what engine is in it, but I do know that after I purchased it, again, sight unseen, I saw something which I don't see it anymore. There was somebody's handwriting in the window, and it said, hole in oil pan. Yeah, hole in oil pan. That's great. So I don't know if this actually runs or not. I'm going to assume this one is probably trashed, and I paid the most for this one. Oh, it's even got power. Look at that. It's got power. Oh, you know how bad I want to try to start it? Probably a bad idea. But anyway, there you go. Next on my list, I feel like I'm doing a Copart walk around at my own house. You guys may remember this one. A lot of you probably used to have one, or your parents or grandparents used to have one. You've probably ridden in one of these before. I'm going to give you a few seconds to guess the name of this car. It is a Chevrolet, but it doesn't tell you on the back what it is. Go ahead and drop those guesses now. I'll tell you in just a minute. Some of you that have been here a while saw this on a Copart walk around of mine quite a while back. It has been sitting a long time, and now we got it. Let's see if I remember right. I think this hood is not even, yeah, it's not even on the car. You got your good old 2.8 liter V6 under the hood. And I do remember we were attempting to start it. It's got a busted ignition or something like that. We attempted to start it, and I think it sounded like it had a locked up starter or something like that. Now, I'm really having a hard time deciding what car I want to focus on today, but quite honestly, I'm thinking this one. This is probably the most difficult to get going because you can see it's been sitting for a very long time, and because my parents had one of these when I was a little kid. Very, very little, probably 4 years old or so. I was riding in the back seat when we were rear-ended at nighttime in the pouring rain, and it bent the axle. It smashed the back of the car, and I remember the guy walking over to the window, banging on the window, and he was covered in blood. I mean, that was terrifying for me as a little kid. The guy was just covered in blood, and the car ended up being totaled. It was brown, and it was totaled, and that was the end of it. So when I saw this, I had to have it. Unfortunately, it took, I think, a year or so before I was able to finally acquire it. I don't know what took it so long to go up for auction, but needless to say, there was nobody interested in this other than me. It would be nice if we could get this thing pushed somehow under a shade tree or something. It's 105 degrees out today. It has bald tires. I think it has a flat tire. It has no keys, I'm sure. The steering column has been dropped. It looks like someone was going to swap it out. Oh, it does have keys. There's an ignition right there. Okay. So it's got an ignition, and this ignition would just normally, I think, it would squeeze in somewhere here. Hell, I don't know. There you go. Oh, well, it would, except everything here is damaged. All of this is just, it's broken. I really would like to focus on this one today, guys. There's the steering wheel. Yeah, this one I think is going to be the most difficult to get running, if it'll run at all. And I don't expect it would. I don't have very high hopes for this car, but it was cheap, and I thought it would make for great content. Who doesn't want to see, remember I said I was going to tell you what it is? A Chevy Citation on the channel. That's right, I bet a lot of you thought it was a celebrity. It's not a celebrity, it is a Citation. We've got a nice mix of cars here. We've got a Chevy, we've got a couple Hondas, we've got a Nissan, we've got a Chrysler, and I have two more Nissans on the way, as I said, a Maxima and an Xterra that I got for dirt cheap. I don't remember what year this is. I'm guessing maybe, I don't know, 83, 84, manufactured. Well, unfortunately, somebody sprayed it, and I can't see. But I'll bet under the hood there's an emissions label. What do you think? Should we make an attempt? I might as well just take this stupid hood off. Like I said, it's actually not held on by anything, I don't think. Oh, yes, it is. There's a hinge over there, but that hinge is broken. Let me see if I can prop this hood up. Maybe we can get something to fire or to work. We'll have to put a battery in it first, or a booster pack. I think this is the one we're gonna focus on today. All right, the first thing I'm gonna start with is trying to get this tire inflated. It would be nice to get this thing moved into a cooler environment. So with any luck, this tire will inflate and we might be able to push it just a little bit easier. And there it goes. Yes, yes, she's taking air. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I'll take it. I would just love to get this into the shop where it's air conditioned and we wouldn't have to sit out here in the heat. All right, well, the good news is all 4 tires have air. We've got the breather off. There was no bolt in it. It's just sitting on there, and there's a little carburetor. It looks like someone shoved a paper clip in there. Okay, I'm not sure why they did that. That carburetor today would probably cost you like $400. We got the boost pack on here, and it's got juice, but like I said, I am almost certain that a year or so ago when we tried to crank this, the starter absolutely refused to engage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and... Oh, that's the brights. Okay, well... Uh-oh. This should have been the ignition, unfortunately. Yeah. There's a rod that's supposed to move back and forth, which of course is busted. I don't know if we can do it with this screwdriver or not, but I'm betting we probably can't. No. Yeah, whoever broke this broke it really, really, really good. Because that something down here should be getting pushed so that we can crank it over. Give me a minute, let me play with it, see if I can figure it out. All right, I had to go do a little bit of research. Boy, it is getting hot. It is just too hot out here to really do much of anything right now. But there should be a rod under here that I can't see, I can't really get to, but there's a rod that runs into that ignition switch that you probably can't see either. We've got the, I've got to get down in there. It looks like it's just a couple 3/8. I think if I could get that off and drag it out, we could be able to try to crank it. So let me go. Hell, I don't even know how I'm going to get to it, to be honest with you. That sucker is, she's up in there. But let's see what we could do, guys. I think I'm going to drop this steering column down just a little bit more. There's a couple bolts back here in the back that I can take off. Drop this down a little more, get access to the switch, and let's try to manually crank the switch. Oh, I heard some noise. Well, manually try to push that switch and see if we can get her to crank. All right, we've made progress. I've got the ignition switch out. It was an 8 mil, and boy, that sucker was just buried back there. So we can access the switch now with a right angle pick that I've got. Now, I don't want any of you to think for a minute that this thing's actually going to run today. Didn't hear any noise. I don't expect that it's going to run, but damn it, I'd love for it to just crank. You know what I mean? See some gauges. Right now we've got nothing. So, like nothing at all, as if there's no power. No blower motor, no nothing. Let me see if I can get in here and finagle this a little bit. All right, let's see if this'll... Nothing. Like nothing at all. That should be cranking. Nothing. All right, well, we've got no power. I'll be damned. We got noise, we got a blower motor. Let's turn it off. Let's turn it off. We got gauges. Half a tank of gas, a check engine light. Hot damn. Whoo! Oh, Oh, do you think she'll crank? Do you think she'll crank? I don't think so, but I'm gonna sit you guys down right here. All right, hopefully you got a relatively good view here. See if she'll, nope. She lost power immediately. We're gonna need something stronger than that. Yeah, because there's no battery in there. Gosh, no way. No way it cranks. Are you serious? Okay, hold on. Let's spray some juice in her. I can't believe it. Can't believe she's even cranking. All right, here we go. Hope it don't backfire. It ran. It ran. It ran. It ran, guys. No way. No way. I can't believe this. Let me open this up a little bit. All right, let's give her another shot. See what she does. Ugh. It ran. It ran. Okay. Step one, she runs. I guess next. Oh, there's no cap either? No. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. Gas gauge is lying. Wonder if we should get a little gas bottle. Maybe we should put a little gas in it. See what that does. All right, I put about 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons in the tank. I dumped a little bit down the engine, and I am sincerely hoping that this thing doesn't backfire or blow up. Here we go. It's running. It's running. Holy crap, she's running. Yes! 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 It ran. Oh my God. It took off, guys. Whoo! It just ran off. Oh, it's running. I gotta shut it off now. Because the transmission seems to be in drive. Crap. It ran away on me. We about lost it. There we go. Woo! Oh, it drove. I mean, it didn't drive far, but it drove. It ran over some rocks. Oh, this is what stopped it right here. If this hadn't have been here, we might not have caught it, guys. Oh, crap. Wow. My heart is racing like 1,000,000 miles a minute right now because we almost got run over. So it's obviously in drive or some gear. Let's see what the trans looks like. Trans fluid's dirty. Hell, the trans may be bad. I don't know, it's weird. It just, out of nowhere, she just kind of kicked in and she took off on her own. I'm gonna reach down there and see if I can put this thing in park. All right, guys, I've got the steering wheel not really attached. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna try to drive this car into the shop over there. So let me get out, put the shifter under the hood into drive, and we're gonna try to drive this bad boy into the shop. All right, well, I don't know how this is gonna work. Hold on. This is awkward as hell, guys, but I'm here to tell you she's moving. Look, the speedometer's even working. Oh crap. Oh, this is awful. This is awful, but she's moving. She's moving under her own power. Oh, this power steering doesn't work. I don't know if I can fit it in here. Come on, old girl. Yep, come on. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. You know how hard that was? I got the steering wheel literally in my damn lap. Now we gotta shut her off. Come on, old girl. I can't do this on camera. There we go. There we go. And no, the e-brake doesn't work. The door handle doesn't work either, so you're stuck. You gotta open it from the outside. And then take this steering wheel off. It's a race car. That's what it is. It's a race car. Woo! Wow. She ain't purty. That's for damn sure. She ain't purty. But she doesn't have to be. She literally, for the first time in God knows how many years it's been, she ran and drove under her own power, which means the fuel pump is working, the carburetor is working. She ran and drove right here into the shop. It is hot as hell. It was 105 or so earlier, and I'm gonna let it sit here in the air conditioning. I'm gonna let it cool off. I'm gonna cool off, and then we'll come back and we'll check some fluids. All right. It's time to check some fluids. I've got everything set up. We're gonna start with the antifreeze. Doesn't look like there's much of anything in there, so I went ahead and got us a bottle. Look at the spider webs and cobwebs. This thing hasn't run in a long time. And guys, I checked the date code on the tires. I just aired up all the tires. So the tires all have 32 PSI. The tires are shot. But the date code on the majority of the tires is the end of 2008. Okay? So you're talking about 14 years. The fact that this thing fires up and runs is, to me, kind of a miracle. I'm blown away that she fires up and runs on her own. Let's see if we can dump some antifreeze in here without spilling it everywhere. There we go. Let's go ahead and top. Oh, she's full. I thought it was low. Guess not. It barely held anything at all. Okay. Well, let's check the overflow. It's always good to make sure we got it. Yeah, if you're wondering if the intent is to eventually take this thing and put it on the road and drive it, oh yeah. Yeah, that's happening. That's happening. In fact, if I can get the steering, I mean, there's a couple things we need before we can drive it. Number one is steering, and that's not going to work. This setup is not going to work. We need steering. An ignition switch would be nice. We could probably drive it on the tires it's got, but yeah, we're going to take this thing on the road. That's going to happen. Not in this video. Right now, we're just going to end this video, I think, with double checking all the fluids, making sure everything is where it should be. We're going to start it up, let it run, let it idle for a little bit. Go ahead and fill this coolant up, this overflow up while we're over here. Then we'll check the trans, the oil, brake fluid, make sure those things are where they need to be. And then I think we can call this video done. I'm going to let it run for a little bit just to see if it tries to overheat or do anything crazy like that. I don't think so, though. I think this thing is a solid runner. I think it was probably parked eventually because of that ignition switch. Someone obviously took it apart. I thought it was stolen. It was not stolen. I did some research. This is a common issue with a lot of the older GMs. The plastic and metal gears in there eventually just disintegrate. They fall to pieces, and then you're stuck. I think someone just gave up on it. It was already a tired car. You can see that by the shape of the body and the interior. It was already worn out anyway. So when the ignition finally failed and they couldn't figure it out, they just gave up on it. But as you can see, it may be junk to someone, but to someone else, this car means something. And that's what this is all about. It's about taking these old junkers that nobody else cares about and bringing them back to life. Are they going to get another chance at being daily drivers on the road? Probably not. Let's be real. Who's going to want a Chevy Citation as their daily driver? Probably no one. But for me, the car brings a lot of joy and it brings back a lot of memories. Hell, we could fix it up, send it to Mako, get it all painted. Well, probably not. New tires, maybe some new wheels, probably not. Fart cam muffler? Maybe. I don't know. You guys comment below and tell me what you would do if you had an 80s Chevy Citation. What we're going to do right now is we're going to check this oil. Let's knock this out real quick because oil is very, very important. Let's wipe this off and let's see where she's sitting at. What do you guys think? I'm going to bet she's probably low. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to say that's low. It reads absolutely nothing. It shows that it has no oil. So, yeah, let's grab some oil and put some oil in it. Well, it just so happens that I have a couple quarts of Castrol GTX high mileage. Helps extend vehicle life. Well, I can tell you this. This car needs all the help it can get extending its life. So why don't we go with a couple quarts of this? Let's see if this brings her up to the full mark. We'll add 1 quart, check the oil, and then if it needs more, we'll add another one. All right, let's check it again. Hopefully it reads this time. It does. We've got almost full. We're close. Just going to need a tad bit more. All right, she held 2 quarts of oil, so she was pretty low. But she's full now, so that's good news. We can put the filler cap back on. We need to check the transmission fluid next, but first we have to get it running, so let's fire it up. Let's see what the trans fluid says. All right, shall we fire her up? I've got some wheel chocks under the car, under the tires, so hopefully we don't have any issues with it trying to run away on us like it did earlier. Here we go. Let's fire the old girl up, see what she does. Starts no issue, man. No issue. Starts right up. Let's give her a little throttle. I can't believe she's running. Honestly, I can't believe she's running. Blows my mind. That noise that you're hearing, if you're wondering what that is, that sounds to me like the smog pump. The blip, 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 blip. But guys, she's running on her own. No help from me. No external fuel source. I'm gonna pull this dipstick out. Let's wipe it off. I'm gonna bet that she needs trans fluid in a major way. Yeah, she's very low. You guys probably can't see it, but trust me when I tell you, she's probably about half a quart low. I'm sure it takes Dex Merc. Yeah, Dextron too. No worries, I do believe I have some of that. The alternator is finally charging. That wasn't working earlier, but the alternator seems to be coming around now. Good deal. Let's throw some trans fluid in it. We'll check the brake fluid. All right, trans was about half a quart low. That only leaves the brake fluid. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think she needs a little brake fluid, guys. What do you think? Let me grab some fluid and let's top that off as well. Just so happens I have some good old Value Craft .3 right here. Go ahead and fill her up. That should be good. All right, we have checked and adjusted all the fluids as necessary. She's still sitting here running with no battery, pushing 14 volts. We should probably get in there and check the coolant temp, make sure everything looks like it's doing okay. So at the end of the day, for a car that's been sitting for probably 10 or more years, the fact that she's sitting here and she's running quite happily on her own, the turn signals are flashing, we have a headlight out, or maybe just a loose connection. I don't know, let me reach back here and see if I can, no, that headlight's just dead as a doornail, that's fine, but we got a turn signal flashing, headlights on, she's still pushing 14 volts through the system. Honestly, the body, it's a little rough, but it doesn't look bad. I don't think it's beyond savable. The tail lights work. I know you can't see those, but it runs well. And remember, it's running on some seriously stale, old gasoline. The fact she could just sit here and purr all day just blows my mind. We'll go ahead and turn the headlights off. The turn signals, I don't know why they're on. We also don't have windshield wipers. Those aren't doing anything. Something's obviously disconnected. We've got a wiring harness right here. I'm not sure what this goes to either, but that's disconnected. That could very well go to the windshield wipers. I don't know. This whole column really needs to be replaced. This doesn't work. The shifter somehow has gotten disconnected back here in the steering column. I'm not sure how or why, but something back there is definitely no longer connected. That'll require some further investigation. But I think, honestly, if we could find another steering column with the steering wheel, with all the accessories already attached, good luck. But if we could, I think we could put a steering column in this, and that would solve 99% of our problems, and this thing would be ready to hit the road. Also notice the check engine light is not on. It sits over here when you first start the car. There's a check engine light there. It's not on, guys. Check engine light is not on. It shows 30,383 miles. God only knows how many miles it really has on it. It could be 130, it could be 230. Who knows? It's rough. It is. This is not a car that I think most people would be interested in, but for whatever reason, I can't help myself. I find the damn thing enjoyable to work on. Somebody had a trigger hooked up to the starter at one point. The wires are now disconnected. But yeah, when this started happening, somebody rigged up the starter. So this has been a problem for this car for quite a while, but listen to her. I know the smog pump sounds ridiculous, but she just purrs like a kitten, man. Not a care in the world. She's idling smooth, which is crazy. Remember, this is a carbureted car. This is a carbureted vehicle. And she's just sitting here singing like a sewing machine, man. All right, I think we've let it idle long enough. I think we can safely say that we took a car that has been sitting for a long, long while, and we brought her back to life. So stay tuned for the next video, because I fully intend, one way or another, to figure out a way to take this thing on a test drive. I'm probably going to need someone to help me by reaching their hand under the hood. I'll figure this out. We'll figure out being able to shift it. But I would love to take this thing on the road for a quick drive. Obviously, we're not going to go far with bad tires and a messed up steering column, but it would be great to take her for a quick spin. And then I can get back to you and tell you guys if we were able to find any parts to bring this bad boy back to life. Now, before we get out of here, I think there's something that I forgot to tell you guys. This is my gas can that I use to put gasoline in the Citation, and I don't know if you can see all that oil all over it. Well, one of the things, and I wasn't aware of at the time, but when the Citation ran away from me, it ran over this gas can, knocked it over on its side, and drove over it. The weight of the subframe was on top of this, and it was spewing gasoline. This is epic. It was spewing gasoline out of here, this nozzle. It just a fine spray was coming out all over the dried grass, all over the ground, all over the underbelly of the Citation, which was heating up every second it remained running before the concrete blocks finally stopped it before I was able to jump in and hit the brakes. Thankfully, nothing caught on fire, because that could have ended very, very badly, or the car could have continued running. It could have ran over me. It could have ran into my neighbor's house. That was a bad situation, a bad deal. From now on, I got to be a little more careful. But accidents happen. Thankfully, we avoided a potentially very serious accident today. So far, the car is great. It is a turd. I'm well aware of it, but it's my turd, and I'm sincerely having a lot of fun with this old car. I guess the point of several of the videos coming up in the near future is that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money on a bunch of fancy cars to have a good time. In fact, I think some of the most fun I've ever had has been with cheap cars that you could pick up from the auctions even today for a few $100s. I know nobody would want a Citation. Nobody would even think to bid on a Citation, but I think you're cutting yourself short, man. You're missing out on some fun. Nobody wants one of these. Nobody drives one of these, which makes it so unique if I can get it on the road to be able to see a Chevy Citation cruising down the street. How many people are going to look at that car and be like, I remember that. It was junk when it came out. Those were awful cars. That's what everybody tells me. So the fact that I have one and it runs and I think we can get it driving, it makes it so unique. There's a lot of potential with this little car. It all depends on how much you guys want to see of it, how interested you are, and how many thumbs ups you give the video, and how many comments you drop down below. All of that and the views, of course, so share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and maybe we'll go all the way with this one. Send it to Mako for a fresh paint job, maybe get some spiffy wheels for it, make it look really good. I don't know, it could happen, but it all depends on if it's something you're interested in watching. If you are, do all of the things I said, comment below, hit the thumbs up button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.